Welcome to my sunny garden in Llanberis. I'm going to make a little video on confidence roping for mountain leaders. So why might we need to confidence rope? Well, maybe someone's tripped up, bashed their elbow, we want to walk them off the hill, but they're really nervous about walking down. They don't want to fall over and hurt themselves again. Kind of ground that we feel really comfortable ourselves, not risky, just they're lacking confidence. So confidence roping, nice idea. So I've got a rope ready to go in my bag in a stuff sack. It's flaked in neatly already and little end poking out, so if I need to do this it's ready to go. No tangles, comes out nice and smoothly. So this is what it looks like in my bag, so ready to go. I've just pulled it out and I'm going to connect the person onto the other end. So how am I going to connect them? So here's the end of the rope I've pulled out, and I'm going to judge how much room I need for their waist and tie an overhand knot by wrapping it around my hand and through. And now, because the ground isn't tricky, it doesn't really matter about getting them to put it on by stepping through. I'm not going to be stumbling, it's quite easy ground. And then I can cinch it up. Just make sure the knot's nice and neat and tight. A little bit of a tail, but not long enough for it to dangle and get in the way. So that's one method. Some of you might prefer a different method, which would be tying an overhand knot in that single strand, getting the person to wrap it round underneath their rucksack, around the waist, and then we're going to re-thread it. So that re-threading starts from nearest their body. So find the rope nearest their body, and wherever that goes, I go to. Wrapping it round. And we end up with exactly the same knot as before, just a different way of tying it. So that's them connected. What am I going to be doing? Well, I've got my rucksack on, as I showed you earlier. That's going to be nice and tight, so I feel secure. I've already connected them, they're on the other end of this rope. So I'm going to be staying directly above them at all times, so if they do slip, they're not going to swing and pendulum out the way. And I'm going to keep the rope really snug on them, so they feel like they could even lean back a little bit against the rope and they feel like they're not going to go anywhere. I've got them. And I'm going to be doing that leaning into the hillside. So what I can do to make that a little bit less tiring for me is tie a small overhand, making sure this bit's really little so I'm not tempted to put my hand through it. It's not a handle. I don't want to get pulled over by having my hand through that. Just a stopper. So nice bent arm for shock absorption. Leaning into the hillside, keeping directly above them and nice and tight. Now, sometimes I might need to change direction. That's not a problem if I'm zigzagging down the hillside or maybe zigzagging up the hillside. If I do need to change direction, I just change hands. Now, I need to change hands. That's really important because if I didn't swap hands and they were to stumble, I might more easily get pulled over. It's a really awkward position. But changing hands, I feel nice and solid. Now, sometimes there might be an obstacle in the route. There might be a giant boulder, for example. So this positioning that I've got myself in with the knot, a set distance away from the person, might not work. But that's not a problem. I'll just take this out of the way so this next bit's clearer. If I do need to vary my position, I can just use this grip here. So thumbs towards me, thumbs in the air, and it creates a zigzag in the rope, which is nice and steady to hold on to, nice and secure. And by doing that, I can move up the slope or down the slope, and if need be, I can even be right next to the person if there's a small gap to fit through, and I could always hold on to their rope loop around their waist. So nice grip to help you move around. So key points: directly above the person, nice and snug with the rope, really quite secure, braced stance with a good dynamic grip. and bent elbow. Communication, though, is the key to all of this, because if I don't encourage them and give them step-by-step instructions, they're not going to feel happy to move. So all the while I'm going to be telling them where I want them to go, step by step, and just giving them lots of reassuring chit-chat along the way until we get back down the slope, back to where they feel more comfortable. So hopefully you've got a garden with some kind of slope and a willing family member that you can try this out on, have a practice, and if you've got any questions, just let me know. Thanks very much.